Hey, we back with another one. We about to figure out this Katt Williams scenario. You feel me? I'm trying to figure out why did he hitchhike as a stowaway in the little 18-wheeler with a Rottweiler. And why did he have a Rottweiler, and why did he think it was okay to bring a dog on this adventure? What was he thinking? It doesn't make sense, in my opinion. But let's get into it.
Leave Ohio and go somewhere. And it ended up being Florida. So, but when did you know that you were leaving Dayton, Ohio, going to Florida?
I'm still confused on why he brung a dog. Me personally, out of everything you could have brought, you brung a dog. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. He better answer that. He better answer that.
In my father and I's last interaction, somebody could have not made it. And we both understood that was all bad.
What was the disagreement about?
If you say that my family is very religious, just say I'm not. So anything that I'm going to do is going to fall out of the guidelines.
Right.
But I'm not going to let you tell me.
Hey, what's the guidelines to be religious? Like, what's the guidelines? Like, what you can and can't do to be religious, to be a religious person?
I'm going to be, even, especially if what you're saying is wrong. I can't condone wrong. And if I find out that something is wrong and I tell you it's wrong and
you still doing it, that's just like if you tell somebody like, yo, the way they live it ain't living it right, and then they still like, I still doing it, continue the same pattern, it's something wrong with them.
That's what it is.
Even as a young child, you were willing to tell your parents that some of the things that you're saying doesn't coincide with what I've been reading in the Bible.
No, very simply. Don't try to disfellowship me for sexual acts and I'm a virgin. Sorry, God don't make mistakes. You don't get 2 times to fuck me over. What do you mean you went to God and he told you I was guilty? You just lied on God. So long. That's it. There's no conversation. Deuces. That's what it was.
That's when you made the decision. After that conversation right there, you say, "Nah, I can't live under this rule."
It wasn't a conversation. It was an altercation. In the altercation, I love my father. My father loved me. But we are 2 men at it.
Okay.
It'll never be 13. The same again. You can't sleep comfortably around me. And I can't sleep comfortably around you.
How similar are you to your father?
I don't know. He's a great man. I'm saying
because it seems like y'all butted heads.
Right, but I'm saying that generally happens with a father-son dynamic. It was just that religious
facts, because I know y'all out here bumping heads with y'all dads. Y'all dad probably oop and you like, little bro, don't talk to me like that. You standing on business.
Relationships are always difficult in families. They always are.
Before it got to the point, because the dynamic, he's father, you're son. Before that dynamic and you step up on his level and you challenge him, you felt it was best for you to leave.
Okay.
No. I'm not being challenged. I'm being beat to death.
Ooh. Oh, he was abusive.
I didn't say that. I said we were in an altercation.
That's what you did there. I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there, Kat. Yeah. I saw what you.
Hey, it's interesting because it seemed like he like whatever his dad probably passed away, and it was like whatever the rift that he had with him, he don't want to talk ill about him. So it's just like let me choose my words wisely, because at the end of the day, this is my father. I don't want to make him look bad. But I just got to let the world know what he did wasn't right in a nice way. That's interesting. I don't think nobody will be out here willingly to do this. Because I feel like I know people that'll be out here that'll be quick to just shit on anybody that they know. Whether they hear or gone. Shit on them.
It was an altercation. You didn't say you lost. You said you was an altercation.
I in no way gave you the impression that I won anything. I'm the one leaving. I'm out of bounds. This is his house.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So as long as I'm going to be under his roof, there are certain things that I'm going to have to do.
Right.
And the only way that's going to change
is if you leave.
Is either this or that. And
okay.
I'm saying I had 2 younger brothers. Like I'm not an unreasonable person. Like I don't have any mental issues whatsoever, despite what they lead people to believe. You know, I make pretty good decisions.
Were you not? So how was their relationship with your father? Were you not afraid to leave them?
Well, I asked because it went all the way to the actual department, so it was actually going to be something. And when I asked them if they could just make sure that my brothers didn't get separated and what have you, they said they couldn't make those type of guarantees, that they weren't really sure what would happen if this went down. And so,
hey, that's interesting too. Y'all need to do better with the system, because why the heck are you splitting kids up? That should be a no-no. Off tops. If y'all brother and sisters, brother and brother, y'all always should be locked in my opinion. That should be a law written somewhere. Like, why the hell are you splitting up families? Like, all right, cool, you gonna take them from the parents? Cool, but why are you splitting up them? That should be a no-no. If this person can't take them, then y'all gotta keep them together. You gotta be grouped up. Because you trying to have them go around, be like, oh yeah, I wonder how my sister is doing in life. And they ain't gonna probably never see that person. Y'all need to do better.
Part of leaving was the hope that it would be okay for them, because none of them experienced what I experienced. I'm saying I'm the oldest. It's a lot riding on me. Yeah. I'm supposed to at least religiously hold down the family's name at this household. Right. You know what I mean?
How much older are you than the baby and the knee baby?
Like a lot older. Like if I'm
12, 13.
Yeah, they're 5. And in Pampers.
Wow.
That's a big age gap.
You go to Florida, you tell the story of you were homeless. And somebody else told the story, said they were homeless, and you said they hijacked your story. Now I don't
At 13, I shouldn't have to tell you I'm homeless. I'm in Miami, Florida. I have no family members in Florida. I couldn't buy a house if I wanted to. I couldn't get an apartment.
You can't do nothing.
I wanted to. I don't have a credit history. Like, this is not a stretch for me to say that I'm homeless. I'm living in a park in Coconut Grove. The park still exists to this day. For 8 hours a day, I would get up and go to the library and study for 8 hours a day to increase my education. And then I would leave out of there and go to the marina and steal car radios and make $2,000 almost daily.
Hey, the fact that this nigga was stealing car radios and making $2,000 is crazy, because I feel like now you go try to do that, you getting a good dollar. You getting a good dollar. Probably even not even that. They're just gonna laugh in your face. Hey, he had a hustler spirit. I'm just saying, like, this go steal a car radio. Very interesting. Very telling. Very telling, in my opinion.
A routine.
So you really could have played out Santa Thief and Santa Claus. You could have played it.
No, the Santa Claus wasn't a thief. The Santa Claus, you can't tell me. I read the script. Rickey Smiley told you he didn't read the script. The Santa Claus was a crackhead. He just had that outfit on.
Yeah,
that's what I couldn't have played.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't have played a black guy that got raped in the bathroom.
Right. So at any point in time, did you like, man, I made a mistake, man. I should have stayed my butt in Ohio, man, because this ain't what I signed up for.
I didn't experience anything once I left home that I hadn't signed up for. If anything, it saved my life. You know? Me being homeless for that small period of time allowed me to...
But then again, it's like, unless he tell us, how long was he homeless for? You know what I'm saying? Like, when did he get on his feet I mean, technically, he was on his feet. He said he was making $2,000 daily from stealing car radios. So like he had money for food. You know what I'm saying? So like, where was he storing this money? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a hole right there. Cause like, how are you storing this money? And did you get a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn? Like, well, what's going on?
All of the people that were in that situation, and to see that these were lawyers and doctors and teachers, and that these people were white and black and Asian and Indian, and the only thing that all of these homeless people had in common was they made a bad decision and aligned themselves with drugs. And I interviewed them all. What drug? What? And guess what, Shannon? Nobody had a great story. Nobody had a great story of what meth had done for them, what crack had done for them, what cocaine had done for them, what heroin had done for them.
I don't know. I know people always talk down on drugs and things of that nature. Like, get away from me, right? But somehow people still doing. It's still some people out here doing them drugs. It's still somebody out here that this, you know what I'm saying, on the crack pipe right now today, and still over here trying to be a functioning crackhead, functioning alcoholic, all that. So I don't know. I ain't seen nobody say they had a bad story. I ain't seen nobody have a good story. But it's somehow they still on these drugs.
Speed had done for them. Nobody had them stories. Everybody's story was, I had my life together. And then I decided to do this dumb thing.
Facts.
And I lost my wife.
Facts. Everybody had their life together when they was doing drugs, and then all of a sudden this shit vanished. It vanished out of nowhere. Thin air. Going through the wind. But if you notice, any person that did any type of drugs, they got put on by somebody that they was close to. Somebody that they was close to put them on them drugs. And that's why they doing them drugs. They was comfortable with whoever they was around. That's what it is. That's the only reason why they doing drugs, because they was comfortable with somebody around them. Somebody around them put them on and said, yeah, it's okay to do this, bud. It's okay. It's okay. No, the fuck it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
House, I lost my cars, I lost my reputation, and I'm now out here sucking penis.
Whoa.
In the woods.
In the woods and sucking penis is crazy.
Talk about scared straight. You ain't got to worry about me.
Oh God, because you ain't about to catch.
You won't see me.
You ain't about to catch me in the woods doing none of that. Head. What? What? They living a different life. No.
I don't want no parts. I done seen what these things can do to people.
Facts.
Anything that take over your free will is the devil itself.
Have you ever thought about what your life would have been had you stayed in Dayton, Ohio?
I don't know, because me personally, drugs is a no-no. But I feel like Shannon is literally, he thrown off of what's going on because he wasn't prepared. He thought he was about to get a calm interview. Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh yeah, tell me about your upbringing. Oh yeah. Boom, boom, boom. No. Katt Williams is creating the narrative that's going on, and you see Shannon like, what is going on? Like, did I feed him too much liquor? Because I could take that liquor away from you if this is how you moving. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Let me know. He over here trying to look off to his people to the side like, yo, we good? Can we keep going? I'm confused. He confused because he wasn't prepared.
No, that's like asking somebody that's in the NBA for 14 years, like, what would have happened if you didn't come to the NBA? Well, I shudder to think.
I don't fucking know.
I thought it was what I was made for. I thought it was what I was built for. Anybody that
I
knows
was built
me
for
will
this.
tell you that when they first met Katt Williams, when I was Cat in the Hat, and they tell these stories about how he changed his name. Look, the truth of the matter is Disney sued me. Yeah, I was Cat in the Hat. They sent me a cease and desist letter, and I'm not even making $25,000 a year. And the mega company Disney has sent me a cease and desist telling me I can't use any variations of that name. Fine, I'm Katt Williams. That's all that happened. I have been this same product the entire time. They will tell you when they first saw me doing stand-up, I was just like this. This is what I bring.
Okay. Raw cut.
That's my style.
Unfiltered.
When did you know you wanted? Were you always funny? Did you always want to be a comedian? Did you stumble on a comedianship?
No, I loved what they did, and so I.
Hey, at this point, Shannon need to just throw away the cards because whatever he had planned to ask, he ain't about to ask him. They ain't about to come. Pause. He ain't about to be able to answer none of that.
All of them. I studied all of the white comedians because I wanted to know, why is Monty Python funny? Why is Don Knotts so talented? I wanted to know, what is George Carlin's thing? Like, so I studied all of the comedy masters regardless of the field because I loved to laugh. I didn't know that these people were making
laugh,
a
have
great
fun.
living at doing this. I thought this is just what they did. They tell jokes. They're funny people. But I loved the craft. And that's why when I got into the craft, I thought it was my obligation to make sure that I kept writing new material so much that it forced these comedians to stop doing the set they've been doing for 10 years and keep writing some new stuff. And I knew that if I could get that to take on, that most of these bums would have to just quit comedy because they can't keep up. They're not going to keep writing an hour worth of material.
Right.
I've written an hour worth of material 19 times. They're not going to do it. Why? Because they're not creative writers. They want to get somebody else and have them write it and put it together.
So if I'm listening to you correct me if I'm wrong.
Talk your shit.
I think the best thing that ever happened was the internet. Because now they have to. Because normally, like you said, you could do a set.
He getting ready to pull up. He pulling up. He about to get ready to talk more shit. Y'all see it.
And you do that set in Kansas City, people ain't heard it in San Francisco. People ain't heard it in Miami. They ain't heard it in Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, so forth and so on. Now you do a set, it's on the internet. Somebody heard it. So you can't do a set and make it last 3 months, 4 months.
Facts.
Well, it doesn't allow the regular comic the ability to grow, is the real problem. Facts. Part of comedy is me taking these jokes in January, and by March, I've begun to craft this joke. It's not as simple as it was. When I wrote it, it was just da-da-da-da-da. But now it has the complexities of the fact that I'm having to deliver this to an East Coast audience, a down South audience, a Midwest audience, a Utah audience, a Colorado audience. And so it begins to take on a different complexion because you're having to deliver it to different people. And so this is what sharpens your joke. You then take those sharpened jokes.
Sharpening knives now.
Not you just randomly take some. So it's a process. You don't allow them to process it the first time the guy did the joke. Now that's his joke and the joke is everywhere. That just sets it up for people to steal.
So how many times must you tell a joke before you master it?
How many times have you had to sleep with a woman before you're done with her?
That was way left field. Whoa. How many times you had to sleep with her before you knew you was done with her?
That's not fair. If it's great, never. if it ceases to have usefulness,
you done with it.
So it has been spoken.
Yeah.
Right.
I read that you was raised in Florida. You had some help, some ladies of the night.
No.
That's not true.
No, that whole story doesn't take place in Florida. That story takes place in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So after I'm in Florida, I then join. I try to join the Marine Corps, and they won't accept me because I'm too young, and I've lied and told them I'm 16 and my family's moving down and I don't have my ID, but it's coming. And so they let me go to the boot camp. That's not gonna work now. Okay, so I've learned that lesson. So then I get this job selling stuff door to door. Across the country. And so I've been to all 50 states. Again, I'm 14 years old. So I did that. While I'm doing that, one of the places I'm in Oklahoma. And I've decided I'm going to stay here because of meeting these ladies that you're talking about and that situation. I don't know at the time why that's important in my life or why it's something I should be doing or any of that. But now later on, it certainly helps me in formulating Money Mike for Friday After Next.
Right.
And a pimp named Slickback for the Boondocks.
Oklahoma, so San Francisco, Oklahoma, Sacramento. From Florida, you moved to the West Coast. So you're traveling. When did you set up shop on the...
How is he traveling though? Shannon ain't answered the question because for one, what happened to the dog? And how the hell is he moving around at 13? It's questions that we need answers for.
All right.
How old were you there?
So I guess I'm 18 or younger.
Okay.
And once I have a child, I realize that I can't. It's a lot of things that I could use to make money that now is a no-go. So anything with street aspirations that I might have thought about pursuing or been good at, I now am a single parent and I gotta redo these things. So I need comedy to really work out for me. Right. And me and God go into extreme conversation where I'm explaining to him that I'm a crash out dummy if he don't send me a lifeline. Like I need something I can hold on to. Before I had left Florida, I did stand up one time because we was trying to get in the club. I didn't have ID. So I said I was a comedian. They ended up having me do 5 minutes. But I kept that in my head that I had done that. When we get to Oklahoma, they're having a competition for stand-up. And if you win, you get to go out on the road with Jeff Foxworthy and Dan Whitney, who is Larry the Cable Guy, and Richard Jenny, and these great comics. You get to open for them. And once I did that, I realized,
at like 13 to like 18, we're going to say like 14 to 18, this man been doing comedy. That shit mind-blowing, for one. Because it's just like, But it's also mind-blowing that he didn't really tell us how he moved across state. You feel me? All right, we cool. We learned how he got to Florida. But how the hell did he get to California? I'm just saying. But it's amazing that he did all this as a kid. And he's still doing it. He's still producing. I ain't saying he's still funny. I ain't saying he's not still funny. I'm just saying he's still doing it.
Comedian, I'm like way behind schedule. I done started this too late.
Okay.
All the funny guys are already funny and known names. Like, how am I going to progress? So I realized that I do better with a white audience than I do with a black audience. And I'm not sure why that's occurring, but the white audience likes me more. That's interesting. Ooh. So when I moved to Sacramento, it's because Sacramento has a white and a black audience almost 50-50. That's almost the makeup of Sacramento. So I lived in Sacramento for 2 years until I get to the point where I am equally as funny if the room is black as I am if the room is white. That's not enough. Now I need to be one of the good ones when it comes to black comics. So now I have to move to Oakland, and that's what lands me in Oakland for 3 years. Once I have dominated male black comedy in Oakland to my liking, Now I'm prepared to go to Los Angeles now.
Okay.
Now I know you can't throw me any curveballs. If it's a white audience, if it's a black audience, no matter what they are,
because he prepared because he been sharpening his knives this whole time. He been sharpening his knife. That's what. All right, cool. It's making sense. We got to put the pieces together, but it's making sense. But he still ain't tell me when he start having these beefs or weeps. The beat.
All of the audiences.
Do you write jokes according to the audience that you're going to be in front of, or is your joke universal?
Well, in the beginning, part of my framework is that I'm tailoring every show to this audience.
Okay.
And that's how I was able to show my range and show that I was better than my competitors, is that I'm Katt Williams, but I was still doing clean comedy. So I was still going to churches and doing 45 minutes of stand-up at the church with no curse words, no sex, drug material, no none.
That's deep right there. That's deep because, like, to be on stage and to not curse, to not reference no drugs, alcohol usage, a woman, and just be clean, raw, funny, that's different. That's different right there. It's not too many people out here that can just get on stage. He said 45 minutes and keep it clean? Who you know right now that's doing that? Comment down below. Who you know? Because I don't know nobody. And they funny. Because don't be trying to just throw out nonsense. Like, and they funny.
At just straight stand-up. And then I was doing everything else. And at
the regular club.
Yeah, that was the range, is that when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So that's how I started. But as you begin to get better, you begin to be able to speak to your entire fan base. And that's really what's been helpful, is that I've been having the same conversation with my fan base for 12 comedy specials.
Is that what set Katt Williams apart? Is your range? Is that you can do a comedy, do 45 minutes in the church. I can go to a comedy club in front of 250, or I can go into an arena with 15,000.
Hey, it's an interesting way to sharpen your tools. But I still feel like he ain't told me why he got beef with these people. I still want to know. But the fact that he been doing this since he was like a kid, it's very telling. It's very telling.
That's range, because everybody can't do that, Katt.
Well, if that's what range is called, then yeah, it's range. But I like the people I'm talking to. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like it can't be condescending, because I'm talking to my white male friend when I'm telling that white joke.
Right.
Yep.
When I'm talking about this joke about this black lady, I know that black. I'm speaking to this fan base that I've been speaking to from the beginning. I already told them what I was on when I first came in. I told them they was going to come after me. They was going to cancel me. They was going to say terrible things about me and try to mess my life up. I said that coming into stand-up. I'm saying it in my
So you knew it was going to be.
It has to be. I know I'm going into the belly of the beast. How could I be naive? I know that I'm going into Satan's playground, but I'm trying to be so good that you got to bring me in so close that I can see who's doing what and what's going on in there.
In San Francisco, you joined the Nation.
Okay, Nation.
I was never in San Francisco. I was in Oakland.
You was in Oakland. Did you join the Nation? Is that?
Yeah, Honorable Minister Farrakhan and I have an extremely close relationship. He refers to me as one of his sons. So, I spent a particular period of time.
Okay.
Let me explain.
Yes.
Because my particular background was already religious and super strict, right? I didn't find out about other religions by reading about them. I went to their religion. I I don't want to learn from Jewish people from outside. I want to be in a synagogue.
Being the inside
with
them.
I want to learn about Muslim people from. I want to be in a mosque. I don't want to hear about the Baptist or the Pentecostal. I want to go to their church and see. And so that was the religious discovery that I was on through that period in my life.
When did you know you were funny?
Probably.
I don't know. That wasn't the question we should ask. We need to ask the hard-hitting questions. When you know he was funny. When I started getting paid for it. I'm funny once I start getting paid for it. If they paying for me, I'm funny. That's when I knew. Like, come on, simple.
About 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
So you didn't think as a child, because obviously you said the very structured background.
That's interesting. He just realized he was funny 10 years ago. What was 10 years ago? 2014? 2013? Type shit. So why the fuck was he doing stand up that whole time? And then he didn't find out, oh, I'm funny until like 2013. That doesn't make sense. So if Cedric stole his jokes, it didn't matter because he didn't think the shit was funny. That's the real thing. If he didn't think it was funny, why did he care if somebody stole a joke?
Family was very religious, so obviously you didn't get an opportunity.
Like I never did a talent show. I was never in any extracurricular activities. I was never in drama. I was never in band camp. I was never a Boy Scout.
And you didn't stay in school long enough to get funny because you dropped.
You understand? You understand? So there was no I don't tolerate high school games. I didn't go to high school.
Okay.
I don't know how most of the games they think I play, I'm not even aware of it.
But Katt, for you to get on stage, and like I said, a lot of people, like a lot of comedians, I had a few here, they're like, okay, I told jokes to get girls, I told jokes to, get people to laugh at someone else. Yeah. But you, it's like, you say you did comedy one time in Florida. Yeah. And you had this other opportunity, like in Oklahoma, that they were going to take you out if you won the talent show. You was going to go on the road with these well-known comedians.
And I did.
But I'm just saying, how in Florida at 13, 14 years of age, you like 16, I can do that.
Well, because I knew that there were...
Confidence is crazy. Once you know you got that confidence bug, you'll do anything. Fuck around, jump off the bridge right now. You got the confidence.
A lot of other things I could do. Like when I looked at drug dealers, I thought I could do that.
Yeah.
You
but that's easy.
So right. And who doesn't like that?
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make it. But now that I got to do it on this side, but no, your question was, when did I think I was funny? I never was my biggest fan. To this day, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm a fan of comedy. I like great comedians. Like, I like Chappelle. I like Patrice O'Neal. Like, I like the greats of comedy because I do. Like, I like Ron White. I like Bill Engvall. Like, I know comics. Like, people that did the craft, they raised me. I was touring with Steve Marmel and Richard Jenny, a real journeyman. Mm-hmm. So my comedy upbringing was standard. Okay. I thought you had to work all night, every night, all around the country, and you had to write jokes, and that you were trying to write jokes that other people weren't writing, and that your job was to be funnier. Like, people that know me will tell you I've been on this. Like, I had a list of all the black comedians that were more famous than me. There was 300 of them on the list, and I had to be able to cross them all out before I could make it to the next.
Yeah, that's different right there. Like, you fighting bad to be better than someone else that you put their name on the target board. Like, yeah, I'm mixing this bitch out. I'm mixing that bitch out. I'm about to be better than this person. That's different. That's a different level. That's a different level of talent, and that's a different level of ambition.
Level before I felt like I was funny enough to do that. And so I appreciate what competition does for sports and for my particular sport. And comedy is a sport.
What gave you the confidence that you could get on stage?
You remember I was 5 years old on stage.
Okay.
But I was reiterating God's word at that point. Oh. Now I just have to make sure that the content is good. If the content is good, what part can I not do? I'm a vessel. He's given me these gifts to be able to do certain things. So I just want to utilize them in my craft. That's all.
Do you remember your first set?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Hey, there you have it. Hey, we getting a little bit. Shannon kind of answering the questions, but I feel like he going over, he forgot what his mission was. His mission was, in my opinion, was to get him to talk spicy. You feel me? The mission that I got from it, he was supposed to figure out why he don't like certain people. And then, hey, whatever. If you fucking with the video, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that. Until next time. Ayoo!